Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. How reflective are dreams of our actual physical lives? What do our dreams mean? Well, when you think about dreams and the field of psychology, your first thought would be to our father of psychology, Sigmund Freud. What does Freud think of dreams? Freud thinks dreams are actually unfulfilled desires or hoped for wishes that we may have but we can't obtain in real life. However, his protege, and later his rival, has a different view on it. He thinks that dreams can be a reflection of the issues and concerns that we experience in our lives. However, our conscious mind is not aware of it, but our unconscious mind is trying to bring it forth deep within our psyche while we dream. That kind of makes sense if you think about it, because in our daily lives we have so much information and stimuli that our brains have to process on a daily basis. So we might not notice the little details. They might be important, but it gets filtered out. All the white noise gets filtered out. So at night, our brains are trying to make sense of it, trying to make it more lucid, trying to get our brains to understand and process our experiences throughout our lives. For example, if you imagine one day your wife comes into the room and she's dressed in her new little black dress, but you don't notice because you're running out the door. You're late for work. You don't notice. But later on that night, you come home to a very mad, irritable wife, right? You might get into an argument that you have no idea how it even started. And then you end up sleeping on the couch. That night, you're dreaming. And in the dream, you might see a beautiful woman in the same black dress. And that's probably your brain trying to process what went wrong during the day. Why was my wife angry at me? And your brain, your unconscious mind had latched onto the fact that she was wearing a nice, sexy black dress. You just didn't notice it. So your brain, from what Carl Jung was saying, is your brain is trying to make sense of your experiences during the day, and the brain processing system is trying to pull out and make sense of all that data, or what needs to go into long-term memory and what can be thrown out or whatnot. So how do we start deciphering our dreams? The first step to understanding our dreams is to understand how we dream. Now, in our world of technology, that's starting to become capable with brain imaging, medical brain imaging. So with the brain imaging and research done by a neurologist, Patrick McNamara, from the Boston University School of Medicine, he explained that the brain imaging actually revealed that while we dream, certain areas of our brain that is connected to emotional feelings and interpretation are lit up, whereas our prefrontal area, where the logic comes in and the conceptions or perceptions come in, are largely inactive while we are dreaming. Maybe that's why our dreams are kind of very emotional. You feel what you're dreaming, very visual or vivid, but very illogical, maybe sometimes even bizarre. They're not really flowing the way you normally would, because your brain, again, is trying to process all these random things throughout your day and trying to make sense of it. Well, since this is the Veterans Day today, another area where understanding our dreams come into play is with post-traumatic stress disorder. With a traumatic event, there's a lot of stress hormone called cortisol that gets released. Now that researchers have found interfere with our emotions, our emotional processing, and that disrupts the brain's processing of, our events while we sleep. And that interruption doesn't allow the brain to process that event for that person. So they keep experiencing it over and over again because our brain is trying to resolve this issue. So with brain imaging, hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to understand PTSD more and come up with a way to solve it. The second step is dream interpretation. Back in the days, in the early 20th century, Freud, Jung, they based their studies on just a small set of dream diaries, dream accounts, probably under, maybe 200. Not a lot to work with. With technology nowadays, we have big data. We have the internet. People can submit all their dreams. There are smartphone apps that you can submit your dreams through. The database, currently, one of the databases called Dream Cloud currently has over 165,000 dreams that have been collected. The website categorizes it into common dream symbols, frequency of the dreams, the demographic of the dreamer, etc. And that allows for a more comprehensive way to analyze the dreams and try to understand what they mean. Now, of course, the dreams depends on the culture of the person. Researchers already know now that women dream about men and women equally in their dreams, right? Who do you think stars in a man's dream? Me? No. No, surprisingly, no. Men actually, from the database that they've gleaned, actually dream predominantly 2/3 men. That, you can speculate, but I would probably just speculate that it might be a cultural thing, because most cultures are patriarchal. So that kind of makes sense that they would predominantly have men in their dreams. And then you also realize that women dream their passive dreams, their sad dreams, but men dream very aggressively, violence, aggression, and that might be more of a gender difference there. So these differences, of course, it will require deeper studies so we can understand it more. In the meantime, I just wanted to go over some of the common dream symbols that you might all dream, and some that I've actually dreamed myself. For example, being chased. How many people have dreamed of being chased or running away from something? Apparently that have been determined to mean that you are threatened or there's a loss of control in your life, etc. Flying might be letting go. You should let go. Vehicles, driving vehicles, again, loss of control of your life. Schools and taking tests. I'm out of school, but yet I'm still taking a test. Most of it is probably missing assignments, but probably that reflects maybe I shouldn't procrastinate, maybe I should do time management. It gives a reflection of what you should do in your life, right? And I'm kind of seeing a pattern developing for myself while I was doing this speech, and the dreams might be trying to tell me to stop being a worrywart and just let it go. I'll sleep on it, Mr. Toastmaster.